All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Read and Rant podcast, first ever live streamed author interview. On today's show, we have Carol Denise Mitchell on the show tonight, and she is the author of OpenAI, Oakland's Seat at the Table. Now, for my listeners tuning in who may be hearing about you for the first time, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your background as both an award-winning author and as a black press journalist?
Okay, I'm Carol Denise Mitchell. Began writing books when I was 23 years old. I'm 71 years old, and I was able to hone my skills well enough to be at the trial and write a book on Elon Musk and Sam Altman.
So, what first drew you to covering this lawsuit? At what point did you realize this wasn't just another tech story, but a historic legal battle?
Well, I kind of had a subliminal relationship with Grok and
Who is that?
Elon Musk. Grok is the AI system that Elon Musk created.
Ah,
And I was having some housing problems in Oakland, California, and I decided to experiment with AI, and Grok helped me maintain my living situation. And I began having a relationship with the AI until one day the AI said Elon Musk was in the room and had called me the advocate.
oh shoot. Um, that's freaking gnarly. Before attending the trial, what were your expectations, and how did reality compare to what you witnessed in the courtroom?
Well, as I said precipitatively, I'm a fan of Elon Musk. And so from the beginning, from inception, I had presumed that he would win. And so the impetus behind being at the trial was I'm from Oakland. I'm a native Oakland. Well, really not native. I was born in LA, but I came here 50 years ago. And so I sent Elon Musk my book on robots called The Mad Sister Massacre at Boulder Pond. And he didn't send them back. And, you know, he was mentioned in all my books. So I was one of his number one fans. So it was inevitable that if I live 4 blocks from the federal building, so, and I heard that through one of my associates, and I have a press card because I used to do the news for Channel 37 in Oakland. So, friends and every colleague started saying, "You got to be at the trial. That's your guy. You got to be there."
So, when you were inside the federal building documenting the proceedings, what was the atmosphere like every day in court?
Let me tell you something. That was not the case. I was not in the courtroom. I was at the trial every day simultaneously. I had streamers inside of the courtroom, meaning that I had transcripts that were available to me before the press. I'm a known figure in Oakland, but no, and I use a mobile device, so I did not gain entry into the courtroom, but I was at the trial every single day and took footage that's uploaded on my TikTok channel.
Without giving away every detail in the book, what really surprised you from the transcripts about the testimony?
Oh my God, the testimony that really, oh my goodness, it's incredible. The fact that Elon Musk created Open AI in 2015 with Sam Altman and other people was he did not want the nonprofit to turn into a hybrid and become a for-profit organization, but everything Elon Musk did in the interim in the trial contradicted the whole thing of him saying that he wanted to maintain that as a nonprofit. And so it was beguiling to me as a fan because I had to write a book against the man that I idolized the most because I had to protect the truth and the full efficacy of the trial.
Were there any moments during the trial where you felt the entire courtroom realized history was unfolding?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Because one of the things that happened precipitatively was Elon Musk knew that he wasn't going to win. He knew that the statute of limitations on that trial case had expired. He was a year late. And he had filed it in 2024 and then dropped it and then went back, filed the case again. And the only reason he did that, I believe, from my guesstimation and from my intricate details of the book, is I believe that Elon Musk knew that he was going to lose. As a matter of fact, I have evidence he knew he was going to lose because he and his lawyers went for Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers and told her, we are out of the statute of limitations. Do you want to, can our case be heard anyway? And Yvonne said she didn't like Elon Musk at all. So she said, no, we'll let the jury decide, because there were other matters that Elon Musk wanted to discuss. Like Elon wanted to get rid of Sam Altman. He wanted to dismantle OpenAI. He wanted Greg Brockman gone. He wanted Microsoft to be accountable for the money that they ceded to the organization. It was far big of a trial than a nonprofit gone awry.
Yeah, no, Elon Musk has pretty much spoken openly about dismantling AI because of the risks AI carries with
Yes,
just across the board.
exactly.
Did either legal team present arguments that really genuinely surprised you?
Yeah, I think the arguments that surprised me the most were when Sam Altman's team accused Elon Musk of trying to buy back in to the hybrid version of OpenAI, meaning after he left in 2019, Elon Musk tried to get back in to OpenAI with $80 million and, through emails. And also, the most glaring thing was that Elon Musk had a conversation with Greg Brockman 2 days before the trial, and Elon Musk asked him if he could get back in on OpenAI, and Greg Brockman flat out said no.
Were there any witnesses or pieces of testimony that stood out as particularly influential during the proceedings?
All this information that I was able to amass came from transcripts. And this was actual testimony at the trial. And the Greg Brockman no was was recorded on the news right before the trial to let people know that Elon Musk was not serious about maintaining OpenAI as specifically a nonprofit entity.
Did any attorney shift strategies according to the transcripts as the trial unfolded?
Yes. Elon Musk attorneys, let's see, they had this terminology where there was an email that stated that verbally they agreed that this was going to remain a nonprofit organization. But there were so many contradictions, and one of the biggest ones was predicated on California law. And the reason I know this is because I wrote a book, Your Rights, What the Employer Does Not Want You to Know. So I'm entrenched, and my brother's an attorney. So I'm entrenched on California law. Elon Musk, they really skewered him on that not having signatures for any contractual situations having to do with OpenAI. He didn't have any signatures. He had agreements, but an agreement is different from an actual signature. And this was foreboding to me because you have Siobhan Zillis, who is the mother of 4 of his children, who was in OpenAI. She's now the head of Neuralink. She graduated from Yale. That's his baby mama. Nobody told Elon Musk, you have to have signatures. Not one person. Agreements were not going to be enough. Verbal agreements and everything that constituted an agreement, according to Sam's attorneys, were emails.
Yeah, you can. I know emails and text messages, even verbal agreements don't hold up in court because they're not actual legal contractual
No, they're
obligations.
not.
I think
But
that's even here.
certificates of corporations, they serve a minimal purpose. Okay,
Mhm.
this is what we wanted to do from inception with the certificate of corporations, but they don't have the same legal standings that a contract does. And that there were like 4 different things that Elon Musk did that caused me to lose my relationship with Elon Musk,
Mhm.
that caused me to have that to be in his orbit. And
Hmm.
those were the things, and the things that bothered me the most were the fact that he didn't get signatures on any contracts.
He's a
Also
businessman.
that
He
he
should have known better.
yeah, and he left the organization, but Siobhan hung along pretty much as a spy and then tried to deny that she was a spy. But in the book, I contrasted that with the fact that Elon Musk, when he was married to Justine, he told her at their wedding, I'm the alpha male in this relationship. Nothing publicly through any of Isaacson's books or anything ever said that he changed that disposition. So the whole kit and caboodle of control, from him wanting to control OpenAI, to controlling Justine at their wedding, saying he's the alpha male, to controlling Siobhan Zillis, proved that she had no autonomy when it came to Elon Musk.
Yeah, this lawsuit really did put two of the biggest names in technology directly against one another. How
Oh,
would you
yes.
describe the contrast between Elon's position and Sam Altman's defense with everything with that in mind?
Oh, all Sam Altman had to do was be quiet, show up, look good, and be quiet, because Elon Musk and Siobhan Zillis look like criminals in Oakland. Siobhan showed up with dark glasses, bedroom hair. She looked like she was going to rob somebody. The jury doesn't like that because, as you know, California is a watch me state,
Hmm.
look at me state, see me state. Hollywood is right around the corner. They didn't represent themselves orally or physically as people who were victims of a theft.
So what were really the central issues each side was trying to convince the jury of?
The central issue was basic. It was Elon Musk there to argue that a nonprofit was stolen and that it was agreed upon? They had this term agree on all in an email. Agree on all was supposed to be the final thing for Elon Musk to prove that they had an agreement. But agree on all was nothing but an email. It wasn't anything expansive. It wasn't even part of the certificate of corporation, by my understanding. So we had that problem. And I loved the way that Sam Altman looked at the trial. I did get to see him. I mean, that suit, oh my God, no wind, land, or sea was touching that suit. That had to
Well,
be a $50,000 suit. And that's not his style. And then uh, Elon was trying to paint Sam as an ogre, and the judge had to reprimand him and tell him to shut up because Elon was telling people, oh, you're going to be the most hated man in the world. You remember that. He's
hmm.
going to be the most hated person in the entire world. And it just was the total antithesis of what Elon, and I have studied Elon Musk for over 15 or 20 years, and I've been a fan of his. And a lot of people are saying right now it's really unfair that I wrote the book because they're claiming I was in love with Elon Musk, so he wins anyway.
That's crazy. And I mean,
Even with me,
even in like an email with agreed all that's ambiguous and that's not even clear. And an email is
well,
not
it's
a
it's
legal
it's
document.
below it's below ambiguous because
Mm.
there were tiers of of problems with Elon Musk, and one of the most significant tiers, and this is when I just gave up and said, you know, he's gonna come after me after I write this book, because what happened was during closing arguments, Elon Musk went to Beijing with Donald Trump. And this is Oakland, California. These are people that are getting $20 a day to come to court, and you're supposed to be a victim. You lost OpenAI. This was supposed to be a benevolent organization that was going to allow lay people to use AI for free. And you're in Beijing and you didn't even bother to go to the closing arguments of your case. So the judge has stipulated at the beginning of the case, nobody will leave. You have to be on call. That was her specific terminology. And Elon's lawyers, Elon's a rich man. Elon did not go to this trial to preserve a nonprofit organization because there were at least 3 different instances where he tried to seed more money. He had given 38 to 44 million already. He went back and tried to give another 80 million. He wanted at the end of the day for Greg Brockman to deal with him 2 days prior to. So nothing that happened in that trial indicated that Elon had been robbed of anything.
Did anything challenge your own assumptions about Musk or Altman?
The thing that really challenged my assumptions was the fact that I thought if this were really true, what Elon was saying, that he would accuse Sam Altman of stealing something. But nobody really accused Sam Altman of being a thief. They concentrated on his personality, of him being a bad person, and people didn't like him, and the undermining tones of bringing on Microsoft and getting $100 million from Microsoft. So, but nothing was predicated on Altman stealing anything. So that was a glaring problem on his attorney's side because the jury started actually liking Sam Altman.
But how much do you think of the public conversation surrounding the lawsuit differed from what was actually presented inside the courtroom?
Beg your pardon?
How much of the public conversation surrounding the lawsuit, because the judge was and the jury was actually starting to like
Hmm.
Sam Altman, how much of it was actually
It was none. It was none, and I'm going to tell you why. Elon Musk sucks up all the energy. Everywhere Elon goes, he sucks up the energy, even when he's losing.
why?
The focus is on Elon Musk because Elon Musk is one of the greatest minds that ever lived. I know, I've studied Elon. I went to the trial precipitatively to write a We Won book. And here I am writing Elon Musk lost. Right after the trial, Elon Musk said, Carol's not in the orbit anymore. They ripped me from X. They took all my videos down. My book rose up to number 7 because it's well written. And I was extricated and exiled. But it didn't bother me because I'm like him. I did what he would have done. He's an originator. He's the guy that went to Russia and tried to buy spaceships to rebuild and realized he could do it better himself. He's a mold breaker. This is Elon Musk.
Were there misconceptions about this case that your book seeks to correct?
Yes.
Especially with how the news reports stuff from CNN to Fox News to NBC.
Yeah. The thing that people really didn't get about this trial was the underlying current that just kept coming up about Elon Musk wanted control. And here's the big thing. Here's the big thing with this interview. Elon Musk was scared to death of what was going to happen with AI. Because prior to the case, Elon had gone publicly and told people that AI was out of control.
It was. It still is. Look what's happening in
Yeah,
it was just in the
it
news. I
is.
was watching the news this morning or yesterday, and I think
Yeah.
AI rewrote code to computers and it crashed
Oh,
systems and
yes.
stuff. And I mean, there's movies about it for Christ's sakes.
Yeah,
Like,
and Anthropic and Claude too. But
mhm.
Elon has said Elon was dead worried. Here's the news. Elon was so worried about OpenAI and Sam's disposition as not being credible and people not liking him and what have you. So he wanted to corral the situation. He wanted to go back, get control of OpenAI, get rid of Greg Brockman, get rid of Microsoft, accuse them of something, get rid, of course, of Sam, and he wanted to have OpenAI back. But the thing of the matter is, it was excuse me, it was too late. It was
um,
really too late. The company had already become for profit into a hybrid model. It
I
was
mean,
totally different from OpenAI.
they made a monopoly on AI now. Like, it's
Yeah.
insane. Like, I know there's all these data centers that are going up, and for
Yeah.
me personally, I don't mind the use of AI, but it really concerns me from an environmental standpoint with them seizing land for and building these data centers and the effect it's going to
Yeah.
have on the local
Yeah.
ecosystem and the local water supply with how much water
Mhm.
these AI systems and these data centers
Mhm.
use. Um, but
You hit
this
the nail on the head. You hit the
uh,
nail on the head.
I mean, even
That
Trump
is,
Trump just got on the news, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and said that AI uses all a lot of, like, about what was it, millions of gallons of water per day, and it's a
yeah.
ecological nightmare.
Yeah,
Um,
and the data centers are dirty.
they are, I mean, they
So
pollute the
yeah.
local ecosystem and the local everything from
Oh,
the air to the water to the land.
yeah,
They're poison.
and therein lies the entire gist of the book
Mhm,
and this conversation.
mhm,
Elon is such a good person, but he's a control freak.
mhm.
He wanted control, and he left OpenAI because they said no to him. They said no, we're not going to let you control this, and he wanted Tesla to be involved. He wanted to incorporate it into his companies. And Sam and Greg just said, hey, hell no, man. We're going somewhere else with this, and we don't give a damn about a nonprofit organization. And you know why they didn't care about the nonprofit?
Why
Because
is that?
Elon didn't.
Well, I know, the lawsuit was dismissed on statute of limitation grounds. For readers
Yes.
who aren't really attorneys, could you explain why that became really such a divisive issue or decisive
Yeah,
issue?
because it always was the divisive issue. Elon did never did file this case because it was on time. He knew it was not on time. And the way you can tell that is whenever a case is out of the statute of limitations, which this one was by a full year, calendar year, you have to go before the judge. And if you don't, then the attorneys are derelict in their malpractice responsibility if they don't tell the client that your case is not within the statute of limitations. So this was something that everybody knew before the trial even started, but the judge allowed it to go through simply because she was going to bounce it to the jury and let the jury decide.
You have the reaction inside the courtroom since you have the transcripts when the verdict was announced.
Oh my God. I'm going to tell you something. Elon was livid. But I don't know why Elon would be so upset about the verdict because he already knew what the verdict was going to be. The big winner was Sam, but the sad thing, nobody ever mentioned it.
Do you believe
Elon Elon sucks up so much of the energy. Even when he loses, he's the main story. And someone pointed out in my book, they said, Carol, this book is really good. It's excellent. You didn't miss anything. But what about Sam? I said, what about him? Sam is going to have a lot of problems because having the mandate to AI and being able to have that dispensation power is going to cause him. He's already in a lawsuit with Apple over proprietary information.
not to mention you just tried to sue the guy that was, like, the first trillionaire. Like
Yes,
like, you're gonna have
yes,
all kinds of problems. My man has a lot of money. You don't pick a fight with the
yes.
guy that has a lot of money.
yes. So they accused me of, I've been accused of being in love with Elon, and Elon called me the advocate, and I had to get out the receipts and show people that conversation really happened. But I guess I'm just a fan of Elon Musk, and that's never going to change. But the book is honest. I had to lay him out like fish in the book, and I didn't want to, but it was inevitable because that is what I do. That is how I write. I'm an award winning writer. I'm in the Library of Congress. I'm archived in Arizona. I'm archived for this book in Oakland because I had to tell the truth. I went to bed crying because I'm like, Elon, what the hell are you doing in Beijing?
Do you believe with, this case and everything, it'll become a landmark legal precedent in future AI litigation?
Yes, absolutely. Because it begins from inception. This is the first case. And this was a federal case in a federal courtroom. And the reason I entitled the book OpenAI Oakland seat at the table is because it's an anomaly for Oakland, California, which is the sister city to San Francisco, which isn't Silicon Valley, which is not San Jose, it's not San Mateo, it's Oakland. And I'm 71 years old, and I had to pick up my press pass and run to that damn courtroom and claim this trial. I had to.
Well, after witnessing this trial firsthand through the transcripts, how is your own perspective of AI as it evolves?
I think AI is great the way it is currently, but I think it's going to turn into something unobtainable for the common person. And I think you should take advantage of what you can get from AI now. If you're a person that can't afford an attorney, this is the best time to use AI, because I had a case personally where someone had written me a motion to quash, and I went to Copilot and said, what the hell is a motion to quash? And Copilot said, let me write the damn answer for you.
Well, I know. I think AI is especially when it comes to weapons of war or
Mm-hmm.
warfare.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I keep seeing on the news the AI race. You know, China between Russia, China, and the U.S. There's like an arms race with AI, and it's a little
Yeah.
scary because like that was like the whole premise of the Matrix.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
crazy that the way, and I hate to get so Hollywood and cinematic with the
No, that's
entire.
okay. Go
'Cause, like,
ahead. Yeah.
it's like it's following the same trajectory. If you know that these AI data centers pollute the environment so much, like, that's exactly what happened to Earth in the Matrix. So it's just like, at some point, like, have we not learned you have to learn at some point, like, even I mean, I was just reading an article about the Great Barrier
Uh-huh.
Reef in Australia
Yeah.
because of the so much pollution from it, like, because
Mm-hmm.
China, what they do is
Mm-hmm.
all their AI equipment is in the ocean, and all
Yeah.
that it's polluting the Pacific Ocean. Um,
Nobody listened to Elon.
and it's crazy
Elon, I
because
think Elon was in one of those movies. Was it The Matrix? He was in one of them. But listen, nobody listened to Elon. And I'm going to tell you something. We should be listening to Elon Musk, because Elon Musk said something that went over a lot of people's heads. He says, have you ever watched those futuristic movies going back to The Blob, going back to Sterling? He
the
said,
Terminator.
yeah, he says, we're going to be those figures, but we're not going to be watching them. We're actually going to morph into them. And he is not lying. And we have to be prepared. I want to talk about one thing I saw at this trial that I will never forget as long as I live. And I love having the distinction of being the first person to write a book on OpenAI, Oakland seat at the table. I love it. I love being there. I'm not going to be around 10, 15 years. I have a lot of illnesses. I was in the hospital last night,
Mhm.
but I'm here because I needed to talk about this book. We were out on the lawn during Elon Musk's last day of testimony, and Elon Musk had left. Elon left. And I asked one of the reporters, a Reuters reporter, I was out there with the best. They wouldn't let anyone in that damn pool.
I
You
mean,
had to be,
it had
you
a
had to
press
have a
pass
press.
or
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it was
have a press pass.
high
I've been with
profile
the
trial.
press. Yeah, I've been there for 50 years. I've had a press pass. We were in the pool and I saw something, man, it's hard for me to even describe now. And so they were like, I said, when did Elon leave? They said 2 hours ago. And they said, Brockman's in there. And I said, what are you guys doing out here now? The guy took a lens out of a bag that was about 100 feet long. It started off like at a foot, and he spread that dang lens, and he cocked it back, and then like a telescope, and then he shot it onto the window and read what was in Elon Musk's attorney's hand.
Jesus.
I'm telling you. And people were like, Carol, you were really at the trial, huh? I said, not only was I at the trial, I ate it up, man. I ate up every bit. And so when he drew the camera back from the window, he read what was on Elon Musk's attorney's paperwork, and we wrote furiously.
What was on that piece of paperwork?
Well, I don't recall specifically. I'd have to go. I'm still in a level of shock. But everybody, the writing. Well, I'll tell you what. If you ever want to start grade school writing again, that would have been the time. Wow. I mean, and to see those reporters and where they went for lunch and the protest, and I was able to film reporters. I was filming and writing at the same time. So I have reporters all up on my TikTok, and people are like, "Wow, you were really there. Yeah, yeah." That's why I wrote the book.
So, as AI, continues to evolve, what do you think with this lawsuit and everything, and how Elon Musk lost and Altman won? What responsibilities do companies developing AI have moving forward?
I think if they're going to move over, there has to be legitimate control, and people have to monitor AI because, as you know, as we're speaking, two major components of AI have been reported to have escaped. So they have to corral AI. It was something that was the genesis of this entire lawsuit,
Hmm.
what Elon Musk was trying to do and failed to do. And that was get back control of something that's out of control.
I don't
And if
know
he
how you can even control something that's a computer program that starts to develop a mind of its own.
Yeah,
I
that's the
mean,
whole point. So you're asking in terms of corporations and how corporations can be expensive. You really have to have people that have great knowledge of AI concepts, but aren't afraid. Here's the thing with AI that we have to be most careful with. We have to be the commander. We have to be the director. We can't ever let AI think that it controls us, even if it does. You have to. And when I use AI, like when I edited the book, I did use AI. I wanted comparative analysis, like in the situation of the contracts and the deeds of trust and all that stuff. I needed comparative information, meaning if I have this situation, I need to know were there any other cases like this that I can reference in my book. And that's when it's okay to use AI. And then they will give you data, and then you can use that data. But you have to be in control. You want to be the creative mind. You don't ever want AI to think that you're getting something from it, even if you are.
huh. Yeah, I know book talk especially, and even in the writing community, there's a big stigma about even using AI. I know authors that basically got blacklisted, and people won't even read their books because if their cover is even designed by AI, they just I don't know what it is, but people they get so up in arms about it, it's crazy.
Well, the thing is, I started writing in 1983. So I've written 50 books, over 60 books. So I really don't give two shits what people think about me using anything.
Same
And
here.
I think AI,
It's a
I think
tool.
what we need, I think the thing we can do about AI um, on the landscape that will be helpful to all authors, because these new authors are going to have a time, is to write a directional guide, and that guide would have stipulations of use.
I think that'd
And
be I think
yeah,
it should be that should be a program-wide thing, though. I think
yeah,
that should be a
yeah,
blanket. There needs to be I think the federal government really needs to come together and put these blanket rules in place where this is what AI can only be used for, because if you don't it's just with anything. You need to have balance and moderation in life, and I don't think letting AI just roam free with no control. It needs to be monitored and regulated at the federal level, and there needs to be a special, like, department with the Department of Energy or the Department of Defense or whatever,
right,
just to make
right.
sure that it's contained.
Well, what
Um,
you're trying to say is from a government level, a committee needs to be
yeah.
put together.
Set in the con
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be honest, that should be a
Yeah.
congressional committee.
Yes, there should be a congressional committee because this has gotten out of control. And I think one of the main pinpoints of why we should do this is Elon Musk, his own reactions indicate that we need to do something
I mean, this honestly, no,
because,
let's take it a step further. I think that should be one of the Department of Homeland Security, like the Homeland Security Committee in Congress. I think that should be their specific job as well, because at the end of the day, there's so many threats to the homeland in the cybersecurity world, and especially what's going on with Iran now. They're warning
Yeah.
people that Iran might start attacking infrastructure the cyberspace, and they basically just sent a warning to any water
Hmm.
companies or any kind of power plants that if you have vulnerable pieces of technology to transfer all that data, shut it down so it doesn't impact life here at home.
Well, it's multiplicitous in scope. It's not just AI.
Hmm.
You're talking about the robots. You're
Hmm.
talking about other forms of AI extenuating programs that all, and there's going to be so much to corral that
What's
there are
like
not going to be enough people to be able to pull it all in.
Well, it's just like, if you watch Marvel with Ultron, he was the AI-based software and he used the internet to move around. So, like, you have to
Yeah,
think if AI can do that, it'll eventually
right.
learn its way to move through programs and different IP addresses and just bounce off everywhere and you can never get rid of it. So,
It already has done that. And then another thing about the book, getting back to the book, um, people said, well, why did Carol Denise Mitchell write this book in one day? Actually, this book wasn't written in one day. It was published on May 19th. Actually, this book was written when I first got interested in Elon Musk. This book goes way back because it's a dichotomy and a psychology of him and why he bought this case. I end the book with the hypothesis of Elon Musk. Elon Musk is one of the greatest figures that we have ever seen on this planet. I loved Isaacson's book. Nothing's going to change about Elon Musk. I don't know why Siobhan Zillis was even at the trial. Everybody knew she was a spy. So anyway, and the more you know about Elon Musk, the best way to learn how to corral AI's expansion or anything is to follow everything Elon Musk is doing
is there
because he
any
will tell you.
was there
He
anything from
will
that
let you
trial
know.
that didn't make headlines, but it really deserves more public attention?
Hmm? Huh?
Is there anything from that trial that didn't make headlines but deserves a lot more public attention?
The fact that Elon Musk is a really good person because um, he really shouldn't have left OpenAI and didn't realize it until later. And he really didn't know, nobody knew that AI was going to be out of control. And AI is
Mm.
significantly out of control.
He warned
And
people years ago.
Elon Musk couldn't corral it. That was the only reason why he filed this case because his attorneys told him, Elon, the statute of limitations have run out on this case. And also, you don't have any signatures. Whenever in 2015, during that time between 2015 and 2019, and all of you OpenAI heads got together, the first thing you should have done was had contractual signatures. But you know why they didn't get signatures? You know
Why?
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 Because Elon never meant for it to stay a nonprofit.
I mean, he was gonna make I mean, it's a business. You're gonna make
Yes,
money off it
isn't that
eventually. Yeah, I mean,
something?
to be honest
Whoa.
though, even as a nonprofit, you can still get paid, um, through
Yeah,
different
no,
charitable.
no, no, because nonprofits are categorized a certain different kind of way where they have to stay in within certain realms of specification. But
Mhm.
as a hybrid model, and that's something that is an extenuation, and then you got Microsoft giving you money and all this stuff and the expansion. Sam was really wise to see that expansion. And it's hard to say no to Elon Musk. So when Brockman said no at the last minute, that was it for Elon. That's why he went to Beijing because
Well
he knew that he had lost the case.
mm. Well, getting back to the book and stuff, are there any upcoming writing projects you're currently working on or investigations?
No, I'm 71. I have a lot of illnesses. I was in the hospital last night on pain medication, and I said, I got to go because I have a podcast today. So I'm an old woman and my health is deteriorating. I have tumors in my throat. I've written
What
over
books
60
what books
books.
have you written, and where can people find them?
Oh, oh God, your rights, what the employer does not want you to know. That's one of my favorites.
is that strictly based to California, or is that just all
Yeah,
across all the
it's
nations?
California, but you can look at it and have it pertain to wherever you live. You know,
Mhm.
by the letters, how to write a letter to HR, how to read your time card, what to know about workers' compensation, when to file for workers' compensation, just certain different things about employment law that will help individuals. And then I wrote love stories, and my favorite book is Maxine, about a medical doctor in Oakland who was very rich and wealthy, who couldn't tell the woman that he loved her, and his best friend married her, and his best friend was dying, and then he had to end up killing himself because he couldn't tell the woman he loved her. So I write really good books.
Um, if you could leave our audience with one thought about this trial, artificial intelligence, the justice system, and the importance of I can't talk today. Civic participation, what would it be?
It would be that it was very sad to go to this trial as an avid Elon Musk fan. I even told an AFP reporter, one of the most well renowned reporters in the world, she said, "Why are you recording?" And I said, "Well, I'm here because Elon's going to win the case." And she looked at me like something was wrong with me. So to actually go through the process of processing the transcripts, reading the transcripts, analyzing, doing comparative analysis, I called one of my tech people on the third day of the trial crying, and I said, Elon's going to lose.
Yeah, I mean,
They said, "How
transcript
do you
court
know?"
transcripts are extensive.
Yeah, he said, "Carol, how do you know that Elon's going to lose?" And I said, "I know Elon, and he's not there to win this case. He's going to lose, and he knows he's going to lose."
Well, speaking of civic participation, I really wish more people would have paid attention in civics class in school because I don't
Yeah,
think people understand the power we have as living in a constitutional republic. That
right.
the people have a lot of power. You can go to
Yes,
your local congressman, and you can I have a meeting tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning with my local state representative to change
yes, yes,
Medicaid laws here in Pennsylvania. But I
yes,
think people in this country love to complain about stuff, and it drives me crazy.
yeah,
if you want to change something, be the change. No one's going to
yes,
speak up if you don't speak up, and I think it's really important with this AI,
yes.
issue. I think
Hmm.
people are going to these town halls and protesting these data centers, and that's the only way it's going to stop. To be
Yeah.
honest, it's you have to speak up and stop the expansion of data centers and AI into this
The,
farmland, and it kills
but,
the environment. Look
but
at
the
what's going
sad
on with
thing, yeah,
the Great Barrier Reef right now
is
because
that
of China putting
exactly. Yes, yeah.
this stuff in the
China is,
ocean.
yeah.
It's bleaching the
Hmm.
Great Barrier Reef. It's the second year in a row, and it's killing off the
Hmm.
local ecosystem, and it's heating the damn ocean. I mean, there
Yeah.
was a story today. They found a tiger shark off of what Cape May or Cape Cod up in
Oh
Maine
my goodness. What?
because the ocean's getting hotter and they're migrating more north than they should.
Wow. Wow. You know what? I wish more people were like you, because even back in high school, they said we only use a third of our brain. And I think that really is true. And I think that China is always going to be the leader in everything. And America has never really been able to take the baton
It's because of
from
our
China.
educational system. That's
and
why
and China is. And also I want to say too, to Oakland needed to be at that trial. They needed to have a table at that trial, and they didn't do it. And because I reported the news 50 years ago with Chuck Johnson, Channel 37, I knew we had to claim that trial. It was inevitable. We had to say that we were there. We had to say that there were no crime, there were no drive-by shootings, nobody died. And one last thing I want to say about that: when you got Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, and Sam Altman, one of the richest men in the world, willing to step out of a car and get shot, you're dealing with something.
I mean, there must have been security at the Yin Yang for that trial. I'm
It
surprised it
doesn't
was in
matter.
Oakland.
Doesn't matter about security. It doesn't matter because the fact that they were willing, I mean,
Well,
to even go
why was it even
into
in
the
Oakland?
city.
Why wasn't it in Oakland? Is that where? Because I'm not really. I was trying to familiarize
Because
myself with that trial.
Yvonne Gonzalez, Rogers got the case. It was a district, it was a federal case.
Hmm.
And so San Francisco didn't get it, Silicon Valley didn't get it, Oakland got it. Now, Oakland is the epic center for, civil rights
Hmm.
and these
Yeah.
kind of cases. And so if it's a nonprofit organization, then it's going to fall in that line. But a lot of people are praising me now, saying, Miss Mitchell, this book is amazing. It's intricate in details. It was hard work. I was going to abandon the book when Elon Musk went to China, Beijing. I was going to abandon it, and people said, "Get your head out of your ass. This is what's going on. You got to be the first." And Elon ends up winning because one of his number one fans is the first person to write a book on his trial. He wins anyway. Nobody's talking about Sam.
I mean, yeah, it's because Elon. I mean, look, it's what SpaceX is doing. I mean, it caught a
Yeah,
dang rocket out of the dang ocean. All right,
yeah.
caught a rocket coming back from space. That was, I mean,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um,
It's amazing. And Elon was allowing me to use his name across my bio in October. Well, his group, XAI, Grok, I asked him, I wrote a press release, and then I said, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put Elon Musk around, across my bio because I just don't. And then the Epstein files came out.
well, that we're not even gonna touch on that because that's a hot
And I
button
said, I'm
issue.
like,
That's a real hot button issue. That's something I
yeah,
don't touch because, I mean,
yeah,
I don't think we have all the facts in that stuff. I think a lot of
no,
that it's been redacted and repressed, and I don't know. That is freaking wild. That whole
it is.
situation is just so controversial. Like, I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know, with the future of AI, I get really leery, and especially with like Neuralink too. Neuralink, I don't know. I have a really I'm
Oh,
I'm
oh.
I'm a Bible-based Christian, so I start hearing microchips in your head and your freaking hand and your I'm like, "Oh, I don't think that's
Yeah,
what like
I think
and I
it's
hate to get
strange.
so
I mean,
biblical, but
yeah, yeah,
I've heard different pastors say that the Antichrist is AI. I'm like, I that might be true.
yeah.
I don't know.
I think
I'm not a
If Elon feels like he can do this and be helpful and get away with it, I think that nothing will stop him. He's a creator. I In Isaacson's book, they're saying that Elon Musk is one of the greatest human beings that ever existed.
I mean, my guy, I mean, see, that's the thing. I don't know a lot about the guy, but
Yeah,
he's like the people compare him to Tony Stark. Um,
yeah.
and I don't. I mean, I've heard he doesn't do the work. It's people that work for him that make him the money that make it seem like he's smart. But I don't know if
No,
that's true or if he actually isn't
no.
as intelligent
No,
as
you're
he says
talking
he
about
is.
no, no, no. You're talking about Henry Ford, okay?
Mhm. Well, Ford's a piece of garbage because he's the reason why we have the 40-hour work week.
Henry Ford is the reason for the Ford automobiles. They took him to court for that very reason you just cited.
Hmm.
And he went
He's
to
a
court
fraud.
with his henchmen, and they said, "Did you create these cars?" And he put his fingers behind his back and said, "No, they did."
Well, people been doing that for I mean, look at what happened with
Yeah,
Winston Churchill. He never wrote any of his speeches.
yeah,
It was somebody from the BBC, and then at the same time, I
yeah,
mean, even getting into music, Led Zeppelin got sued by a bunch of old school folk bands because apparently
yeah,
they stole melodies, and now I'm hearing
yeah,
Robin Williams stole jokes and paid people for
yeah,
them. I'm like,
yeah,
you geez, man, y'all made millions off of other people's work, and it wasn't even I love Robin Williams, but that makes me really
yeah.
sad and
Oh, I
despondent to
love
hear stuff.
Robin Williams too.
And
I love Robin
it's
Williams.
crazy how the people are coming out of the woodwork after the guy's been dead for what 10 years and saying
Yeah,
that his attorneys will go up and write people a check for their material and to sign an NDA for accepting said
yeah,
money. And that's
yeah,
been going on for years, and that's why I'm very speculative about a person that comes onto the scene that's like a trillionaire now that's saying he's the smartest person in the world and yada yada yada, and he's like, I don't know. Um,
well, Elon Musk really is. I don't say this lightly, but I've written a lot of books. I know a lot of people. I've been in a lot of clubs and intricate places. But Elon Musk is one of the most charismatic, interesting, smart people that I've ever seen. I love the way he would interview people for jobs, and he had one interview where all he asked was one question,
I
a
mean, that
yes or
guy,
no.
he could talk
I
your
mean,
ear
he's
off.
just so creative and so ingenious, and he's responsible for what we're dealing with today, partly responsible for AI, and he can't be everywhere. He's got too many responsibilities. As far as Neuralink is concerned, if it'll help someone see and not be blind, and if they're able to give someone a brain that's functional and they can do it in record time, then albeit.
Yeah, I mean, if it's for her health purposes, but
Yeah,
I don't know if I would go in there and put your health information on it because from what I understand, that the RFID chip was actually attached to it, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't think that's a good
yeah.
idea because I mean, I don't
No,
know. I mean, it's a piece of computer. It's a computer software that can actually be hacked at some point, and if you're going to put all your
yeah,
medical data, and it's not
yeah.
like you could just destroy it like a debit card. It's underneath your damn skin.
Yeah, but the last thing I want to say about this is that um I'm 71 years old. I was born May 12th, 1955. So I've been going through this life transitory process of technology.
Hmm.
You know, we
Hmm.
started off with 8-track tapes and thought that that was it. I mean,
I mean,
oh,
for me,
don't mess with that.
I mean, for me, I started out with no internet. Like, when I was a kid, I remember digging
Yeah,
a ditch and a
yeah,
hole in the summer because I was
yeah,
bored. Because back in the day, we could have 25-inch color television, and the
yeah.
best
But
thing
the
on
point,
TV wasn't on
yeah.
until Saturday.
Yeah, but the point of what I'm making is this, my dear, is that if the world continues to expand, there'll be something even greater than AI one day.
And you have to wonder what that
This is
is.
an, and we will be alleviated from the planet. I don't think human existence will be sustainable after a certain amount of time. I think everything is periodic. We're here for a certain period of time. Going back to the Neanderthal man and all these before
Well,
BC.
if you look at the research of like Graham Hancock and everything, he's proving that modern archaeology is completely wrong. They're finding
Yeah.
civilizations that predate. They
Yeah,
said the Earth is older than ten
exactly.
thousand years
Yeah,
old. They're like
yeah,
Gobekli Tepe or Cholula in Mexico. That all they actually had
yeah.
lidar in Gobekli Tepe that actually predates our oldest
Wow,
civilization by 20,000
wow.
years. And he
Yeah,
speculates in all his books that I actually have that the Earth has been there's been ancient cataclysms that reset civilization over and
yes,
over. And I think
yes,
even with the pyramids, I don't think the pyramids were
yeah,
burial chambers. I think they were like power plants. Because if you look at the inside of the
yeah,
Great Pyramid,
mhm,
there's like a square and there's like scorch marks, and it looks like it was
yes,
some kind of like electromagnetic like generator of some kind of power. And
yeah,
it's crazy
yeah,
because he gets such pushback from the archaeological community, but the more he finds, the more pushback he gets. And I honestly believe that civilization has been reset multiple times.
yes, I
Um,
do too. I really do. In one of my books, one of my sci-fi books that did pretty well, I deigned to steal the Red Sea. I mean, I said, in this book, we're going to go steal the Red Sea and we'll give it back at the end of the story. I mean, so it's about your mind and how much you're willing to expand on concepts. And because we don't know everything, we don't know if there's a God. Some people believe in the faith-based Lord, and but I see other things. I see
mhm,
so many different opportunities to exist for whatever reasons. And AI right now is, as we speak, is growing, and it's scary.
mhm. Uh, but we're almost out of time. It was great. It was great talking to you.
Oh, yes, very
You wanna
much so.
you wanna tell
Mhm.
everybody the name of your book and where they can get it, and we can
Yes.
end?
Yeah, the name of the book is Open AI Oakland Seat at the Table. It is the first book written on the Musk versus Altman trial.
Uh, and uh, what you call it? Yeah. So I mean, you can buy it on Amazon and
Oh,
give
yeah. You can
uh,
buy everything on Amazon.
yeah. So you can buy hammers, lobsters, and some cat food, and they'll be at your door tomorrow. But
Yeah.
follow Carol on TikTok on Book Talk. Follow Read Around Podcast on TikTok, and smash the subscribe button on YouTube. You can follow me on Spotify as well, and you can Read Around Podcast and on Facebook. That's all the time we have today, folks. I'd like to thank Carol for talking
Thank
about her book and
you.
the really lively conversation. But at this time, the Read It Rand podcast is out.